Dun, 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 dun.
Based on the seemingly horrific events that this film is telling us the story of, you'd think it'd be a little easier to find the information in regard to news headlines or first-hand evidence that this film is centered around. Because at least from the sounds of it, you read on the poster, it says, based on true events. What happened at 65 River Road, or 625 River Road. I went looking it up under many different search titles, and I couldn't find anything. If you have any information regarding the real events, feel free to chime in down below with maybe links to different articles or maybe some videos or something like that to inform me better. I tried to get a baseline. It's just that there wasn't much information that popped up for some weird reason. But it sounds at least tragic from the implications given in the synopsis. I mean, the poster's ominous enough, but it is a psychological thriller, and I love films like that, especially maybe with the added component that's inspired by true events. Again, it looks horrific, but we'll see how the film does. But I love to learn about real stories. Let's go ahead, though, and take a look at this film at a deeper level. I have to say, though, going in, I don't know much about it. Again, as I said, the events aren't that familiar to me. The studio also behind this, there's been a lot of movies lately I've seen the films of, and it's like, I don't recognize the company at first hand. District 51 Studios, they're a new name to me. But this is going to be like a first introduction on a multitude of levels. Let's go ahead and take, not just with, again, the film or the story, but also the company behind this and probably many of the actors involved. This is what it says according to the premise for the movie, according to IMDb. A psychological thriller based on true events that occurred following two female students to New York. As they arrive at their rental home, 625 River Road, a chain of mysterious events takes place that are still unsolved to this day. You'd think that maybe there'd be more information circulating than in terms of search results, like maybe even some conspiracy theories or just information like that. If it's based on people being like, well, we still don't know what happened, and the implication, at least from the poster, it looks like it's going to get pretty intense. You think there'll be a little more information. Let's go ahead, though, and learn. I'm sure the trailer will give us a good perspective on that. Because, again, for what I've seen in just recent internet searches, I haven't gotten that much information thrown my way. We're going to go ahead and watch the first trailer for this, and we'll talk about it more in my condensed review segment. As far as watching the video together. The film is a little ways until it comes out. I think it's dated on July 1st. So they got a little time in terms of getting advertising out, but it's 6 months ahead of schedule. That's not bad. That's usual for, at least it used to be usual for major movies. It hasn't been so much ever since, with COVID and everything, but maybe that time has come back. Here we go. Let's take a look.
Oh,
definitely set in New York.
Say Big Apple. Okay.
These are the two students, I assume.
Apple.
There are two individuals that are unconscious, not breathing.
State officers on perimeter. This door appears forced. You have a witness out here at 10-4. Don't let anybody leave.
Well, at least they got the real photos. This is one of the most mysterious, horrific crimes ever recorded. This occurred on May 11, 2015. Wow. That's way back then.
Folks around here are pretty superstitious.
Just some teenagers in the woods trying to prank us.
It's pretty creepy. Maybe a little more intense than my liking.
When I walked inside the home, I felt him there.
It's shot well, and it looks like like a suspense thriller. I really like the way it's shot. I mean, it's particularly ominous. People hiding in corners. Yes, there's a bit of a lead-in regard to being like, there's someone up there, and then the camera, goes up that way. Or they've got a shadow captured in the yard, and you can clearly tell at one point it's going to move, and it does. So maybe some people might say, maybe some of the scarier shots come across more predictably, and then there's less shock in the scare, rather than if they were to cut immediately to the shot where you can then see someone lingering in the background, maybe where you didn't see it before. But there's a little more, at least to me, there's some obvious lead-ins to those shots. Perhaps maybe that's to help the actors as well in terms of recreating or at least the knowledge known, so that everybody can be on cue with, you react down on the in context to the particular shot with the guy walking up across the stairs, or gal, I don't know. But you have the actors down below. Okay, here's your reaction to this. Camera, pan up. You start walking. It just seemed to get a bit mapped out for my liking on the execution, and perhaps it's going to get a bit intense. I mean, they make it sound like this is really tragic, whatever happened. But again, there's not much known about it. I don't have the best of knowledge going into this. So the film very much is going to be like a teaching me experience about this particular event. It happened a while ago. I'm really surprised I didn't hear about it in that long. 2015. I would have thought that more information would be readily available than what I found an absence of, really. It looks like it could get a bit intense for my liking. I'm not always the biggest gore person. I get that this is based on real events, so there's, I would assume, some authenticity there. Or maybe it's a bit, and maybe at some points they do sensationalize it a bit, perhaps, or maybe there's just modifications made for the story pacing overall. I don't know. We'll see how I fare. But it has potential. And it looks good. I like the final shot with the hand coming through. That's actually kind of cool. We'll see what I think in time of what happened at 625 River Road. We have plenty of time to go before the release date, because it doesn't come out to the summertime, so we got about 6 months. I would imagine maybe another trailer's going to come out, at least one or maybe two more even at some point. What are your guys' thoughts, with this particular film? And again, if you know more about this particular incident than I do, feel free to throw sources down below in terms of where I can find out more information. As I said, though, if you have any thoughts besides that, let me know down below. Don't forget all the good stuff with liking, subscribing, the sharing, that bell. Until we get to watch more from this film, perhaps in the future, or maybe another suspense thriller, who knows. I will see you guys at whatever point that happens to be. But for now, thanks for watching this video. I love you guys. Never love your fellow man. God bless and peace.